We were just walking around seeing people that we once knew. Saw one right here, this black outlined photo, guy smoking a cigarette.
And see a plane military flying very near my house.
Because my father also went to the war. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to him. He went missing.
Just maybe not to forget us.
And Ukraine's probably going to be one country that would be there.
Hello， 各位大家好，我小象，那欢迎收看小象一出门。现在我们位在这个地方呢，还有身后这个拱门就是
Arka Družby Narodov， 那它的是人民的友谊拱门。然后这个地方简单来讲，就是当初在苏联解体的时候，他们为了俄罗斯跟乌克兰两国友谊的关系，所以建立了这个拱门。现在大家上面应该有看到它有一个裂痕，这个是在2022年俄罗斯全面入侵乌克兰的时候，在这个基辅市，他们决定来做一个这样的一个象征，就是说两国的人民因为俄罗斯单方面的入侵，所以造成了这个友谊的这个裂痕，这样子。
现在我们实际走在路上，带大家一起听乌克兰人的心声。首先访问到一位来乌克兰旅游的英国人。
I think it should have come to an end by now. There's been so many lives lost. I thought when President Trump became president, I honestly thought the war would have been over within about 2 weeks. But for some reason or other, it seems to be going on. Now it just seems to be a war of attrition, certainly in terms of territories gained. And I think the sooner the two sides come to some agreement, the better. Because from what I can see, the only kind of people benefiting from this campaign at the moment are those who are making the weapons. Yeah. It's certainly not the young guys and the older guys now who are dying at the front. It needs to stop. The men and women of Ukraine have proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that they are the bravest of the brave. They've got nothing else to prove. Nobody can turn around and say, well, you didn't fight for your country. They fought like lions. But I don't think they're ever going to get certain parts of the country back, particularly in the east. And as I say, I think the sooner this war comes to an end, the better.
Why you choose right now to come to visit Ukraine?
I did a lot of research on the country. I was just about to come here and then the conflict broke out. Yes. And I thought, well, it's going to be an awful long time before I ever get the chance to come here. I like going to very interesting countries. I went to Syria about 20 months ago. When I found out there was a tour on, I thought I could use that to come here as an experiment, to see what it's like. Because coming from the UK and, well, any Western country really, you can't solely rely on the media, the mainstream media,
yes, exactly.
the legacy media,
yes,
as we call it. I rely on guys such as yourself,
yes,
who are on YouTube to find out what's really going on. Yeah.
Thank you for accepting us to interview you. Yeah, thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Obviously, European nations, we fought many wars against each other over the centuries. There had to be some kind of homogeneous group to prevent conflicts in the future, a mechanism by which the governments of countries could discuss matters without quickly jumping into armed conflict. I would like to see a peaceful resolution with Russia. As to where they go from there, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at things too simplistically, but as a Brit, it feels like England invading Scotland.
Yes.
It's Slavic brothers fighting against each other. It's really heartbreaking.
战争影响所有乌克兰人的生活，那学生们呢 ？What do you think about the war right now?
Of course, it's bad for our country. Scary, you know, when you sleep at night and there is some alert, rockets, shaheds. It's very scary. After 3 years of war, it's okay for us to hear that almost every night.
Any other like your friend or your family, they are the soldier right now?
No one from my family are now soldiers. A lot of my father's friends are now in our army. It's very scary there. I don't know how people stand there.
But they are brave.
Yeah, they're very brave.
What is the biggest change after war during this time?
Now, after war, a lot of young people like me, my friend, our classmates will go from our country, study abroad, to work abroad, and after war we will have less population in our country.
Actually, when the war started, I was studying at school at that time, and so for the first year, I was at home. But we studied online. It was a little bit difficult because I'm studying Japanese.
Wow!
Yes,
Wow!
I'm majoring in Japanese
He
philology.
speaks Japanese also.
I live and my family, my hometown is really far away from Kyiv. I feel like I wasn't affected that much. So I didn't hear those explosions and drones, but since I moved to Kyiv, I realized that people are living like for almost 3 years in this like crazy world. So my life definitely was affected also because my father also went to the war. He was on the front line. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to him. Like he went missing. Also, like was a hit for our family. So yeah, I can definitely say that the war affected every aspect of my life and other Ukrainians as well.
All my life wanted to study in Kyiv, but I really totally realized that it's so dangerous to be there. For example, in the morning study, in the evening work, and then you can't sleep.
战争期间，这位婆婆生病了，她对于乌俄战争又是什么看法？
Ну це жахливо, хотілося б, звісно, поскоріше миру. Яка ситуація? Ну, звичайно, хотілося, щоб краще, але я навіть не знаю, який буде вихід і як буде. Ну, під час війни оце одне, що я заболіла, не можу ходити, а так, слава Богу, наші ще, навіть які є родичі на війні, то живі. Ну, ця ситуація, що війна, що страшно, що ніде не поїдеш, що не знаєш, що тебе жде завтра. Оце тупік оцей.
现在我们到下个地方，后面就是外交部，然后旁边就是教堂。
对，这个教堂是圣米迦勒金顶大教堂，它那个时候的目的是建造给基辅的天使长这个地方的守护神，因为很久以前这边是一个很大的帝国。那它现在对于乌克兰人还有基辅人的主要的意义就是他们的可以说是主教吧。
你刚说的守护神，希望可以守护乌克兰这样。
所以他们这边的主教会在这边帮大家祷告。然后后面可以看到就是比较多的是之前在战争初期的时候损坏的一些俄军的坦克，告诉大家就是说战争是很残忍的。
一位乌克兰当地导游，一位从事志愿服务工作的防卫队员，他们的故事又是什么呢？
Many people think that the war began just 3.5 years ago, but in fact it began 2014. At that time I lived in Donetsk. It is the capital of industrial area. February, April, May, they occupied that area. It was they tried to disguise it as some separatist movement, but it is not true. It was special operation of FSB.
Yeah. What's the biggest change in your life?
My life drastically changed 11 years ago. I lost everything I was able to own during my previous life, all property, and my home, my orchard, all my belongings, everything. February of 2022 started real war and was absolutely unpredictable. Till the last moment we thought it was just saber rattling.
Я займаюся волонтерством з 2014 року. 2014 року військовий був ТРО. Ми захищали Київ, область, Буча, Ірпінь, Гостомель. Ми мішали коктейлі, ми їх зупиняли коктейлями. Все, що було під рукою, автомати, коктейлі, пістолети. Все, що було під рукою. Прапори кладуться на автомобіль для того, щоб було, тобто люди кладуть, для того, щоб була пам'ять хлопців, які загинули на цій війні. Так, є друзі, які дуже багато друзів загинули на цій війні між Росією та Україною. Є друзі ще дуже багатько, які воюють на передовій в Донецьку, в Покровську, на Харківщині.
2022年，当他们听到第一次空袭警报的时候，那一晚发生了什么事？
Коли я почула про тривогу, було дуже тривожно.
Ми збирали сумку, не знали, куди йти далі, що буде далі. В мене брат військовий, він сказав збирати речі і виїжджати з країни, бо не знаю, що буде далі. Бо ми жили біля Чернігівської області, коли вже російські війська були вже біля нашого селища тоді. І було дуже страшно тоді, і ми ховалися десь 4 дня в укритті. А потім вже звикли якось до цього, але ми не збиралися виїжджати, бо мамі дуже було тривожно, бо у нас 3 дітей. Він знаходиться біля Луганської області. Теперішня ситуація там дуже тяжка, дуже багато, дуже там погана обстановка, але мій брат сильний, він справиться.
My parents decided to move to Vinnytsia because it was a lot of safer. Was in my house in Vinnytsia. I ran to the window, see what's happening, and see a plane, military, flying very near my house. I was the person who has a key from the basement, shelter where every people in house used to hide away. Every time the alarm starts, I used to run to the basement and open this. Some people was way faster than me and waiting for me a few minutes. I think I was really fast.
War began 8 minutes to 5 a.m. We were awoken by very powerful explosions all over the Kyiv, and we opened telegram channels and other sources, and we were shocked. Every day is unpredictable because of Russia is very strong. Maybe it is not so strong, but it is a huge country. I know because of Putin is just dictator. He wants to be ruler of the world.
会来这边帮他留下一个记号这样子。
所以是下面的旗帜。
对，比较不一样的不是国旗的，通常都是军团的旗帜。
这边是我们台湾来协助乌克兰的军人，阿达、阿亮还有圣光。阿亮其实是中国人，
对，他是中国人，他也是在这边生活了一阵子，爱好自由吧。消息出来就是说，他如果阵亡之后，他想要在他的棺材上面覆盖上这个中华民国的国旗，大概是这样。战争是无情的，是残忍的，子弹不长眼睛。
要感谢他们，
对啊，
就是牺牲。2位正在缅怀已逝好友的他们，告诉我们他们的故事。
I mean, she's Ukrainian, but I've been here 10 years. I work in media as well, so I do videos also. And yeah, we're just visiting some friends here. And you know, in Western countries or maybe Eastern countries as well, when you visit your friends, you go maybe have coffee, you meet with them, talk with them. Yeah. And a lot of people in Ukraine, they go to places like this with the flags to go see their friends, you know, share memories. I don't know, that's what we're doing here. We're just walking around seeing people that we once knew. Saw one right here, this black outlined photo, guy smoking a cigarette. He was quite popular here in Ukraine, big following. He was helping where he could. Yeah, he's been here since 2014. He had this organization called Prevail. Basically, they would do training on military units, and they would do basically EOD, so explosive ordnance disposal. He died just last month. He had this big ceremony here on Maidan, and it was quite beautiful and sad. So many interesting people came to this event, so many different people that are helping Ukraine. Such a shame that he's gone now, because he did so much for Ukraine, and he was one of these guys that helped Ukraine one step closer to victory. There's so many different people wanting to help Ukraine, but the money is drying up because it's been about 3 years of war, and people are a bit tired. People here are tired. People are tired of seeing this on the news. It was really tough, but he was fighting till the end. He just wanted to support Ukraine, just like many of these guys you see here, and it's unfortunate that his time came. His best friend was Pete Reed. So when Pete died, the guy from New Jersey, Pete Reed was his best friend. When Pete died, Chris Swampy was very sad. It broke him. It was like his best friend here. And so when they put his photo up here on Maidan, they put him next to Pete because that was his best friend here in Ukraine.
They're together.
They're together, yeah. I mean, one thing that Russia is really good at is propaganda. you know, their propaganda is so good. You know, people in the U.S. start to believe these Russian narratives. You know, especially my parents growing up, there was this Red Scare. It was like Soviet Union, you know, they can nuke the U.S. at any time. They had these drills where it's like, you know, a nuclear drill where they have to go in like the basement or something, evacuate the schools. And they were prepared for this Russian aggression. And these politicians that are in place now in the U.S., they went through all that, but now they flip positions. I don't know whether it's Russian money or the propaganda. You know, in Russia is so good they believe it. But either way, they convinced the American people that Russia is not an enemy. I was messaging a friend, and he was asking about the situation in Ukraine. I was telling him the truth, like what's going on here. And then what he told me shocked me. He said, Russia's not our enemy. Sure, it's Ukraine's enemy, but Russia is not our enemy. And I'm like, bro, where have you been? You know, Russia's been our enemy since I was alive, since you've been alive. Russia's been the enemy, but now in the last couple of years, you've been so brainwashed by the propaganda, what you're seeing on TV, and you'll take your opinion about, you don't know anything about Ukraine except for after 2022. But you're gonna take like this opinion that you formed watching Fox News or whatever it is over someone that's been living in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy the strength of propaganda, and Russia is really good at this.
Do you know any Russian people? Do you know their opinion? Because I never have a chance to ask the local
I
Russian
have a family living in Russia. My uncle, he's 80 years old. A man who was a lawyer during the USSR. So he used to live in Germany, then had his service in Moscow, married a lady and resides there. And since the start of the war, the only place I could meet him was Abu Dhabi, mostly for his safety, because given his past and he's Ukrainian, I could have placed him in danger, but then his whole life is there. And that's tough. Because this is what they do with families, you know, and it's everywhere, you know, these things happen.
在乌克兰选择留下的人。
It's a lot of invitations from all over the world, from United States, Canada, other countries, from all over Europe. But it is my home. First of all, we expect it's a very short war. Believe me, it is not easy to lose everything second time. So first time, I lost everything I had. Maybe if I 20 years younger, for people of all generations, it is very difficult to find worthy job. If you are 30 years old, if you're 40 years old, it is no problem. My age, so I refuse. I decide, yes.
Because it's our home country, because it's our home. That's the main reason. This is the day when the Constitution of Ukraine was established, so it's a very memorable day for all Ukrainians. So today I also feel like I'm at home, and that's probably the reason why I stayed and my family stayed as well. So yes, you want to feel at home. You don't want to feel like you're somewhere you don't belong. Everyone says Ukraine is part of Europe, but I don't feel that much. Yeah, that's the main reason for me.
It's my country. I love culture in our country. I love our people. I don't want to live in other countries. Only travel.
Would you worry about to, meet a new guy here, or because I just hear someone that they say because we don't know in the future, so they don't want to meet a guy or.
Yes, that's the problem, because if you have a boyfriend in Ukraine, there's a possibility that he will be taken away. Because we live in such a dangerous time, so that could be scary for both in the relationship. Yes, I think for other people, I just know that, for example, my colleague, she has a husband, constantly worried about him because they want to stay together and they never know what might happen to them, like in a couple of months. So that's...
They want to be together, no matter what. I know.
Yeah, that's true.
You?
Now I'm trying to focus on my work.
Yeah.
I want a successful future.
Yeah.
And maybe the main accent I know.
Maybe future we don't know, but right now focus on your work.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could say something to the world, what do you want to let the world know?
Maybe I wouldn't say that people need to help us. So I don't know. I think just hope that the war will finish as soon as possible, and just maybe not to forget us.
our world is very small. It doesn't mean that this war is just only war between Russia and Ukraine. It is global war. Because of Russia is a threat for the whole human civilization. We must to travel, to learn languages, to love, to exchange technologies, cultural heritage, and so on, but not fight.
Можна сказати людям, щоб вони головне вірили в наші війська, що в нашу перемогу головне.
Я хочу сказати велике дякую їм за те, що вони не забувають, що війна в країні. Це по-перше. По-друге, ми Російську Федерацію не допустимо в Європу, ми зупинимо їх тут, в Україні. Слава Україні, слава героям, слава ЗСУ. Вона ще не схопила Україну і не схопить, ми її зупинимо в Україні.
Russia won't stop until they are stopped. And basically what they're doing on, civilians in Ukraine, forgets like the military, they're attacking, Ukrainian soldiers every day. People are dying on the front lines every day, many people. I've been living in Kyiv 10 years. Tiana lives in Lviv, but she comes to Kyiv a lot. And this last 3 weeks, there's been attacks once a week. It's hard for me to sleep. My girlfriend's scared. She has to go to the shelter in the middle of the night. I do reporting as well, so I go to these scenes. And it's just a residential building. Just a block, similar to this. And imagine like the middle is just destroyed. I go there and I see them taking bodies, out of this. Just people just trying to sleep. It's disgusting. It's terrorism. In Ukraine, they have to live with that. It's tragic. And I want the world to know that Russia, they don't just do like military tactics on the front line. They're attacking civilians. They're trying to get people tired. They're trying to get people to give up and just say, okay, you want the war to end. But people here, they will fight till the end. And Donald Trump is not doing anything to stop this. He said it'd be over in 24 hours. Nothing is it's still going on. It's probably worse than ever now. But yeah, that's what I want to say. Just don't give up. You may be tired, but people here are tired as well, but they won't give up. And people in Ukraine need support. And that's basically it. So support when you can. There's many ways you could do it. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Just don't give up.
War was already in a full-scale process going on. And I've seen how people easily can, just thinking, this is somewhere else in Ukraine. It doesn't concern us. Well, you lose family, friends, when as a Ukrainian, in Ukraine or outside Ukraine, what's going on here. When you got here, and when you see how that conflict has been slightly pushed to the side by the media, and people just go about their normal business with Russians, not understanding those peoples need to be treated in the way that Nazis were treating when they were going after Jewish, because they're doing exactly the same thing. They had the generation after generation, propaganda after propaganda, trying just to erase Ukrainian identity, because they know they can get away with this.
Yeah.
And this is crazy to me as Ukrainian to know that we have social media, we have tools, we can make up our own opinions. We don't have to listen just to one side. We can, no matter where we are in the world, we can do something collectively. And this work could have stopped if people will just simply say no to what Russians are doing, or just to let them to ban them going to and hide from a war. In one way or another, this is a military conflict. There's only one resolution. They have to be stopped in that way. But also outside, not to let them feel that they just, good Russians, because they're not. I hope they're still alive because they know the pain. And they came here because we understand the situation that you guys have. And Ukraine's probably going to be one country that would be there within our heart. We might be far away and we might be culturally different. Fight with our freedom, your freedom.
Our freedom.
And this is not just, no one has the right to take it.
I think I want to say thank you to those people who decided to watch this video and listen about Ukraine, and I'm really grateful to all of the foreigners that helped Ukraine and still support us after, because of political situation in the world, something is going south and I don't like it actually. So thank you so much for listening to us, for actually paying attention, and
just try to enjoy your life and
Yeah, thank you so much. 好，感谢安东尼陪我走这一趟，我们也蛮顺利的，就是有在路上遇到非常多愿意受访的人，然后很开心可以听到他们对于现在还有对于战争的想法。
我在这边生活，虽然也没有很久啊，就8个月，还是会遇到很多很善良的乌克兰人，希望可以透过镜头，然后把这边真实所经历的一切去呈现给 观众们这样子，这就是最纯粹的一个初衷啊。
这就是为什么我跟他联系这么久来到这边，我还是很开心，就是来到这边跟你一起完成这件事情。希望大家可以继续持续关心乌克兰，因为毕竟我们也不知道未来会怎样，然后他们现在也是很努力的生活着。安东尼也很努力在那边读书。
对，
对，谢谢大家。